Hola, mi gente. Joe Bretto back with you at the Credit Card Connection. I'm so glad you can join me. Well, mi gente, not all credit cards are created equal, even if they look exactly the same. Case in point, Capital One and their lineup of credit cards. And for today's example, I'm only going to stick with the Savor cards because this really applies to every card in the Capital One lineup. As you can see, it says with Savor, earn 3% cash back at grocery stores on dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services. See if I'm approved. For people with good credit, for people with excellent credit, the cards look exactly the same. Now, today I'm going to tell you why you have to be really careful before applying to any Capital One credit card. I'm not going to go into details about what each card in their lineup offers. I'm going to basically go over what you need to do to make sure you're in the best position when applying for a Capital One card because they make it really easy to give you the card that you weren't looking for. So if that sounds good to you, mi gente, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the referral links below where I have my new website. I have merch. I have referral links to all my favorite cards and some with great offers. So do me a favor, check that out. Let's jump into it. Well, mi gente, before I even break down the Savor cards and what Capital One does behind the scenes, let me give you a little bit of history of what Capital One is known as. Capital One is known as one of the issuers that are subprime lenders. Now, for those of you that don't know, a subprime lender is a bank or an issuer that seeks out those people that have no credit history, fair credit history, low credit scores, might carry balances over on all their cards, things of that nature. So that's what a subprime. So they basically look for the people that either might find it harder to pay off those balances in full or that don't have a high credit score and thus they offer them high APRs, right? Which is the interest rate. Now, to give you an example, about 6 months ago, Capital One was hitting people over the head with 30.74 interest. So that was literally their interest rate. Now, because interest rates have dropped a little bit, it's 29.74. Here's the problem, guys. When you go to apply for a Capital One credit card, if you're not careful, the card you think you're applying for is not necessarily the one that you're going to get. And I'm going to give you examples right now so that when you go onto their website or you go onto the app, you know what to look for and you can make a decision, based on exactly, okay, I'm willing to put up with this or this is what I really need right now. Because remember, keep in mind, subprime lender. So they're looking for people with scores in the 600s. That would be fair. High 600s to 710 would be considered, fair to good. Good would be 710 in most cases to about 740. And then 750 to 850, technically, in a lot of instances with a lot of issuers, is considered excellent. Okay. So I'm going to show you exactly what to look for and how they get you to apply for a card that you thought you were going to get with all the bonuses and sign up offers, and you're not. So going back now to this example, because then I'm going to take you to the website. So when you look here, this is the first thing that pops up when you go to their page. Again, you're going to see the same exact number of reviews, 1,827. It says earn unlimited 3% cash back at grocery stores on dining, entertainment, popular streaming services, plus 1% back on all other purchases. You notice it is the exact same description, right? On both. Okay. The one that says for good credit, the one that says for excellent credit. Then it says, see if I'm pre-approved, apply now. Now, in this instance, you could pick to see which one you want to be pre-approved for. But Capital One on their website also gives you an option where you could just say apply for credit cards. And what it does is it shows you all their cards. You fill out one pre-approval, and then it just tells you what cards you can qualify for. And that's kind of where things kind of get a little, shady and hazy there, because everything looks the same. As you saw, the descriptions were the same. It's what's on the back end when they decide in their minds what's considered good credit or fair credit or even excellent credit. To give you an example, guys, and I always tell you exactly transparent what it is. I don't have a Capital One credit card. I have an authorized user card for the Venture X because of my friend Key from Kiki's Adventures that made me an authorized user on her card so I can access the lounges. But Capital One won't give me a card with the low interest, even though my credit score is an 835. Now, I should have been better prepared and pulled this up on the screen, but I'm going to show you in real time while I go over this what my credit score is so that you can see that I'm just being brutally honest with you. This is as of today, Saturday, as I go to record this, March 22nd. My score is 835 on FICO. Okay. I can't get one of their cards unless it's for good credit. Now, here's the problem. So right now I'm going to bring up to the stage the website so that you could see when you go to apply for a Capital One card, the way they lay it out, it's not as forthcoming. You're not going to see the breakdown that I just showed you for the individual cards when you go to apply. And this is where people really get hung up. When you do the application, you're going to see that it doesn't really show you the breakdown of the multiple cards within the same family. So this is where you're going to see this. And if you're going to see QuickSilver, Savor Awards, Venture X, Venture One. Then they're going to tell you, what are you looking for? New card member offer and so on. When you get to the end of the pre-approval tool and application, if you get accepted for one of them, it's going to say, congratulations, you were accepted for the QuickSilver card for good credit or the Savor card for good credit. And you might just say, okay, I got the Savor card. You click on the Savor card and accept the terms, then not realize that you didn't get the one for excellent credit, which was offering you the cash back, which was offering you the 0% interest for 15 months. You're not getting what you thought or expected to get, especially if you knew that your credit score was in the higher range, not in the 600 range. They don't tell you exactly. There's nothing that really fits it. It's an algorithm. And I went to the bank last year to 2 different branches in Paramus to ask them how they figure this out. And what they told me was in branch, they don't do it. Everything is online and it's through an algorithm. And when one of the women that was working at the bank told me she had the Savor card for 3 years and only had a $500 credit limit, and the reason for that is because Capital One does what I call, and everyone calls in this space, they bucket you. And bucketing means that once they give you a credit limit, it is almost nearly impossible to get a credit line increase. Okay. So if they gave you 500 to start, you would hope that after a year of using the card and being good with it and so on, being on time, you could at least get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Not really. Okay. So that's where the problem comes into this. So if you accepted the Savor card for good credit, not knowing all the stuff behind the scenes, you're not going to get the best bang for your buck. Now, I'm not saying that the Savor card isn't a great card. It is a great card if you get the one for excellent credit, because you'll get the cash sign-up bonus up front, because you'll get no APR for 15 months. The same goes for their venture cards, the same, and even QuickSilver. So, mi gente, I just need you to really be aware and be careful before you apply, because many people have told me that they applied thinking they were getting this one card. It looked exactly the same, Joe. It's the same card, right? Because there's nowhere on the card that labels which one you have. So if you get a card and you start using it right away, thinking you had a grace period, of not paying anything for 15 months or just paying the minimum on it with no interest, you're out of luck. If you thought you were going to get that sign up bonus, you're out of luck. So, for instance, right now, the Venture card has a sign up bonus of 75,000 miles and $250 cash back as a statement credit. But the one for good credit doesn't give you any of that. You're just going to get a card that gives you 2%. That's a big difference, mi gente. Please be careful before applying. If you've had this issue, if you know someone that has, do me a favor, leave that in the comment section below. I would really love to know which one of you has been through this, have seen someone that has applied and gotten something that they weren't expecting or expecting more. And I thank you as always for watching, mi gente. But more than anything else, I thank you for giving me the privilege of your time. Until next time, mi gente, take care.